Come on, man! How you dummies doing? Happy Saturday, week 9, full slate of games today. Got to get the TVs situated here. Let's figure out what we're watching. We're gonna watch Ole Miss, Oklahoma. All right, let's put that's on ABC. Ole Miss, Oklahoma. I never did bet. Well, I bet under. I took the under. I never bet aside. I didn't bet Ole Miss or Oklahoma. I took the under. So that's the only bet I have on that game. Let's see. What else do we need to put on here? I want to keep it up. We'll keep an eye on UCLA, Indiana. See how bad it gets. UCLA, Indiana. We need a third game for over here. What else should we put on over there while I'm getting Indiana game turned on? What should we put on over here? What else do we need on over there? Turn this volume down too. YouTube be done hit me with that damn copyright dog shit. Where the fuck is Kurt Signetti's dumb ass at? There he is on Fox. Okay. And what do we need over here? What do we need over there? How y'all doing? Y'all ready for a great day of football? I am. Georgia Tech versus Syracuse. What? It's got to be a better game than that. Plus, I didn't even bet that game. What's the point of watching it? Oh, man. Hey, man. Georgia Tech matters, right? Georgia Tech fans, tell them. Georgia Tech matters this year. There's no such thing as a lock. I told you that on the last live show I did 45 minutes ago. You asked that same question. I'm going to give you the same answer now I gave you 45 minutes ago. There's no such thing as a lock when it comes to gambling. Kansas State versus Kansas on TNT. Are the noon games really down that bad? Syracuse, Georgia Tech. How about SMU and Wake Forest? Maybe. SMU, Wake Forest is maybe. Virginia and North Carolina, Northwestern and Nebraska. I actually like Northwestern to cover. I might bet that. I might bet Northwestern to cover right now. Northwestern +7. Let's take it. Let's do it. There we go. All right, do y'all really want to watch Georgia Tech? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put Georgia Tech on. I did see several people saying Georgia Tech. We'll put Georgia Tech on over there. If it gets ridiculous, we'll put something else on. Fair? Is that fair? I think that's fair. Hey, lady. She's not here. I'm just kidding. She's not even here. She had to go to work. All right. How bad does Indiana beat UCLA? Well, they're favored by 1 million. Actually, they're favored by, I think, 24 or something, aren't they? I do have a bet on that game. Here's my bets. Here, screenshot this so you don't have to ask me 1 million times. There you go. Absolute degeneracy right there. I mean, I'm in a bad way. Look at this. What am I doing? What am I doing? Seriously, what am I doing? What? There's no way to win money betting this many games. Am I just allergic to money? This is ridiculous, y'all. On the noon games, I've got Northwestern +7, UCLA to score, or UCLA to score over 14 points. That's what that means. I don't have UCLA +14. It's UCLA to score more than 14. South Florida and Memphis over 59 points. South Florida -3. Ole Miss, Oklahoma under 52.5. SMU -3.5. Syracuse, Georgia Tech under 52.5. Those are all the noon games. There you go. Screenshot that for trolling purposes. That way you can troll me when I lose all those. Okay? You're not going to be able to troll me about Georgia today. They're not playing. That means y'all are fucked. If y'all's team starts losing today, I'm going to troll you into oblivion. Because I don't have to worry about any repercussions or consequences because Georgia don't play today. Pete, you ain't got no worries today either, do you? No late game bets, ? Whatever I just showed you on the screen is everything that I've bet on today so far. I will bet other games throughout the day, but I just showed you every bet that I have so far today. Who has George played? I haven't seen George in a while. Pete, have you seen George around lately? I've been good, Andre. What's up with you, buddy? How's everybody? Is everybody good for now? No one's losing yet. So everybody should be good right now. Everybody good for now? Right? Noah, Bo Hunting, J-Dub, Biggs Mike, Steven, Justin, Kyle, Andre, Greg, Matt Dummett, Corrine Pennington, MC Carrie T, Kyle, Cool, John, Matt Dummett, Will Nance, Randall Offrick, Mikey. Everybody's good right now. No one's losing yet. So everyone's good now, right? What are your picks today? You know what, buddy? I can't tell if you're trolling or you're an actual mouth breather. I'm gonna put you in timeout for 5 minutes and see if you can figure out which one you are. Low level troll or actual mouth breather. I literally just went over all my picks and now you're asking me for my picks after you've asked me what my lock is like 19 times. So take 5 minutes, Velcro your shoes, and then come back in here with a little bit less of the dumb shit. Listen, I wasn't even sure I was going to stream today on YouTube. I'm doing the Patreon at 3:30. Y'all talked me into this, so I'm only willing to take a minute amount of shit off of you people in the comments today. I'm just warning you. I'll shut this shit down, bud. I'll shut it down right now. I'm fixing to look at how many people hit the thumbs up. 46 people have hit the thumbs up. 25% of the people that are in here. If that number doesn't go up pretty quick here in the next couple of minutes, I'm shutting this stream down. If y'all don't want me to stream, I won't stream. Why do y'all treat me this way? Why do y'all treat me this way? Seriously. I'm really asking. Why do you treat me? Do I owe you money or something? This is bad. Bird, this is the shit I was telling you about earlier. How they treat me. This is what I was telling you earlier, dude. Shit don't make no sense, man. Making sure everybody's okay, asking how you're doing, and all I get is the constant mistreatment.
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou!
If I was you, I'd listen to that kid. All right, the games are getting ready to get underway. Oklahoma is kicking off. It looks rainy here in this one. I like that for my under pick. I've got under 52.5 points in the Oklahoma-Ole Miss game. The kickoff goes out of the back of the end zone. Ole Miss will have the ball first on the road in Norman. As far as I'm aware, Oklahoma's stupid fucking little house on the prairie wagon did not tip over during their pointless pregame ritual. But I don't know that for sure. But I didn't see it tip over. So I don't know if that's a good sign for Oklahoma or what. Not sure on that deal there. All right, 1st and 10 for the Lane Train. On offense to start things off. Is Lane Kiffin distracted with the Florida job? We'll find out today. Trinidad and Tobago in a shotgun. Yes, he's barefooted. Throws the ball, caught across the 30, tackled right away, gain of about 5. Oklahoma doesn't give that 15-yard cushion that Georgia gives because Oklahoma actually knows how to play defense, whereas Georgia is about more confused than a 2-year-old in a titty bar when it comes to playing defense. Oklahoma doesn't have that problem. 2nd down and 5 for Ole Miss now, just across their own 30. Snap. Play action, pass, complete, 1st down across the 40 to the 44. 1st down, Lane Train. Yeah, the Montana bet hit, yep. The Montana bet hit last night. So I started today up $6 for the week. Which is better than last week. You know, last week I was down $350 Saturday morning, and I ended up winning $300 for the week. So if I have another good day like I had last Saturday, we'll be doing good. 2nd and 8 now for the Lane Train. Still waiting on the other 2 games to start over there. Motion for Ole Miss this time. Snap, play action. Goes deep over the middle. Caught on a seam route inside the 30. Tackled at the 28. Ole Miss in the red zone. 1st and 10. Sac State athletic director embarrassed himself. Montana won. They are a legit FCS team. I'm reeling from the late night drinking and such. Yeah, I'm not having that problem today. Trinidad and Tobago keeps it on a quarterback keep. Runs barefooted up the middle for a couple of yards. 2nd down for Ole Miss now. Indiana and UCLA getting ready to kick off over here. Look at my boy, Nico. What's up, Nico? Big dummy. Lou is going to be on point today with Georgia not playing. I'm ready to roll today, buddy. I'm ready to roll. I might yell and scream all damn day. 2nd and 9. Ole Miss is going to roll out right. Throws, incomplete, miscommunication that time. 3rd and 9 coming up now for Ole Miss. Syracuse kicks the ball off to Georgia Tech to start things off in Atlanta. Georgia Tech will have the ball first. UCLA is going to return the kickoff out to the 25. Hit right there. Might have got to the 26. 1st and 10, Nico on the road at Indiana. Here comes that 3rd down for Ole Miss now. They got 3 wide to the bottom, 1 up top. Trinidad and Tobago in a shotgun. And yes, he's barefooted. Motions the running back out. Snap. Throws. Incomplete. It's going to be 4th and 9. Ole Miss will be kicking a field goal here in the wet grass. We'll see how that works out for them. Georgia Tech pass complete on 1st down. Picks up about 15. Rare forward pass for the nerds there. I love Saturdays. Cheers, Lou. Here's to the coffee fund. Hey, thank you, bud. Yeah, drink a couple of cups of coffee this morning. Ate lunch right before the stream started, so I got some Diet Dr. Pepper for right now. Probably wait till the primetime games to get back on to coffee for today. All right, Matt, take it easy today, buddy. Ole Miss field goal is good. And they're going to take a 3-0 lead on the road in Norman. That was the first possession of the game there. Oh, you hit the like. Thank you. Thank you. Why are the super chats not showing up now? That's bothering me. LV says, I love Saturdays. Cheers, Lou. Here's for the coffee fund. I don't know why the super chats aren't showing up. Let me try to refresh it. Okay, there we go. Now I see him. Biggs Mike, thank you for the super chat. He says, wife's birthday, but here I am watching Lou. Yeah, it's not your fault your wife was born on college football Saturday, so why should you have to suffer the consequences, bud? Something just happened in the Georgia Tech game. Was that a turnover? I don't know what happened in the Georgia Tech game. It must have been a turnover. And now Syracuse has the ball first and goal on the Nerds 1 yard line. Anybody see what happened there? Well, Indiana scored already. That didn't take long. I missed it. What happened in the Indiana game? Oh, an interception. Yep, pick 6. There you go, Nico, you scumbag. Boy, I love watching Nico fail. Don't y'all? I absolutely love watching Nico fail. I don't even feel bad about it. I really don't. Damn, Syracuse going backwards. Had a first and goal on the 1. Now they're all the way back on the 7 or 8 yard line. Second and goal coming up now for the Fruit. Georgia Tech, for no reason at all, decided to wear a helmet with a T on the side today. Doesn't make any sense at all. Second and goal, Syracuse on the Georgia Tech 6 yard line. Motion. Snap, back to throw. Nowhere to go. Scrambling around, takes off running. Can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled at the 9, another loss. They've gone from first and goal on the 1 to third and goal on the 9. I love watching Tennessee lose even more, though. Well, you're probably not going to see that today, but you might see Nico lose today. National champion Georgia Tech symbol in 1990. Well, they won half a natty. That was also the, yeah, they won half a natty. Colorado had 5 downs. Yep, and Georgia Tech has half a natty. Ole Miss kicks off after kicking that field goal to make it 3-0 over Oklahoma. Here comes the third and goal play for Syracuse. They're on backed up to their own 14. So Jesus Christ, they went from first and goal at the 1 to third and goal at the 14. Absolute dog shit offense here by the Fruit. Shotgun for Syracuse. They ran out of time, had to call a timeout. They couldn't get the ball snapped in time, and they have to spend a timeout here. Oklahoma first and 10, their first possession of the game. Moneyline Mateer in a shotgun. Hands the ball off right up the middle, only gained about a yard, 2nd and 9. Great week for John Mateer. The NCAA has legalized sports betting for its athletes. They're allowed to bet on pro sports now, effective immediately. That's great news for John Mateer. UCLA is going to return the kick after some hesitation. And was it the right decision? Tackled on the 17-yard line. Couldn't decide whether he wanted to take it out of the end zone or not. Stutter stepped in the end zone. Returns it out to the 17. Not good there for UCLA. Nothing good for UCLA, honestly. You need UCLA to lose by less than 27. Well, that pick 6 doesn't help your cause any. Syracuse with a give-up play on 3rd and goal from the 19, gets down to the 9. That's about it. 4th and goal, and they'll have to kick a field goal here. UCLA sucks. Yep. Oklahoma picked up a first down. 1st and 10 Sooners. They're down 3. Looks like it's raining there. Here comes the field goal for Syracuse. Nico throws the ball to the middle of nowhere. Oklahoma, big one, caught inside the 25. Big play from Oklahoma sets them up in the red zone, 1st and 10. Who's better, UCLA or Clemson? That'd be a good game. That'd be a real good game. Betting on UCLA is the definition of down bad. I bet on them too, bud. I bet UCLA to score over 14. So what I'm hoping is Indiana gets up to a big lead and puts the Woozies in the game, and UCLA gets some garbage points in the second half. LV says, I love Saturdays. Cheers. Oh, we caught up on that. Thank you all for the super chats, LV and Biggs Mike. Appreciate that. You know, I think Nico might be a terrible fucking football player. That's what I think. Am I wrong? Mateer throws behind the line, caught. Receiver falls down, though, slipped in that wet grass. No gain. 2nd and 10 coming up now for Oklahoma. Letting college players bet the NFL is retarded. Where's the edge for the common man? Uncle Lou, have you ever seen the movie Ha Ha Cheeky Cheeky? No, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Bud. UCLA is going to have to punt. Probably be doing a lot of that today when they're not busy turning the ball over. Punter standing on his own 5-yard line in there. Gets the punt away. 2nd and 4 for Oklahoma. Indiana with a big punt return down to the UCLA 47. It's going to come back, though. There's going to be a blocking penalty on the return. Nico's pretty terrible. Tennessee hyped him up way too much. Well, they do that with all their players. They think Joey Aguilar and that wide receiver they got, Brazel or whatever his name is, should be 1 and 2 in the Heisman race. Tennessee fans are in a bad way, but that's nothing new. They're not the brightest bulb. 2nd and 14 now for Oklahoma back on the Ole Miss 29. Ole Miss up 3-0 early in that one. Indiana up 7-0 after a pick 6 early. And Syracuse 3-0 over the Nerds. Let me fix the scoreboard. Why didn't y'all tell me? Forgot to adjust the scoreboard once the game started. Here we go. Here we go. Heupel, not the best talent evaluator. Heupel's a dollar store Mark Richt. Josh Heupel is Mark Richt if Mark Richt... Uh-oh. Oh, that's a replay. I was like, that another pick 6? But they were showing a replay. Josh Heupel's like Mark Richt if Mark Richt was about half as good as he actually was. Another pass behind the line of scrimmage for Oklahoma. Caught. Gain of about 4. It's going to be 4th and 10, and the Sooners will have to kick a field goal here to try to tie it up. These field goals are great for my under bet in this game. The only bet I have on the Oklahoma-Ole Miss game is under 52.5 points. UCLA needs to lock in. I put $300 on the plus 27. Welcome to the huge degenerate club, my friend. Anybody betting on UCLA qualifies as a huge degenerate. Now, that's a compliment around here. That would be a huge degenerate. I did not bet the plus 27, but I did bet UCLA to score over 14. Oklahoma nails the field goal, and we're all tied up at 3 apiece. Oklahoma and Ole Miss. Indiana's still up 7-0. 1st and 10, no gain, maybe a yard. 2nd down coming up now for Indiana. They are on the UCLA 46-yard line. Yeah, field goals are great for the under. At least Heupel's better than the last 4 coaches we've had. Well, if I took a shit in the corner over there and let it sit there for a week until it turned white and stopped stinking, that would be better than Tennessee's last 4 coaches. That's not really a compliment. Another pass behind the line of scrimmage for Oklahoma. That's incomplete. That's 2 passes in a row behind the line of scrimmage. Don't forget to fire Mike Bobo, though. Georgia leads the SEC in scoring because he throws passes behind the line of scrimmage, and Georgia fans only watch Georgia games and think only Georgia does that, when in reality every team in the country does it 10 or 15 times a game. Haynes King shotgun all by himself, down 3 early to Syracuse. What do you know? A pass behind the line of scrimmage to a wide receiver in the Georgia Tech game too. Now seen that multiple times in all 3 games, and we're only 5 minutes into the first quarter. But fire Mike Bobo. UCLA can't tackle Mendoza. He picks up a 1st down all the way down to the 30. I'm there with Benjamin, except I bought it down to 25.5, says DK. Well, I hope y'all hit as long as, and I also hope UCLA scores over 14. The Ben-Hur Racing picks. I haven't caught no Ben-Hur on no Ben-Hur Racing yet since that time we saw it the other week. Mendoza has to throw it away this time on 1st and 10. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for Indiana. Hey Lou, want to buy BKS? BKS? Who is BKS? Second and 10 now for Indiana. Shotgun. Mendoza waiting on the snap. There it is. Back to throw. Gets rid of it. Intercepted by a defensive lineman. Well, it looks like a linebacker on a blitz, maybe. Indiana turns the ball over here. I got to watch that again. Was it tipped? Yep. Tipped up in the air and intercepted by a blitzing corner. I think that's a corner, actually. It came on a blitz. A defensive lineman tipped the ball up in the air. The corner was standing in the backfield, and it bobbled around and fell right to him. UCLA is going to have the ball. Pretty good field position. Georgia Tech now 1st and 10. They're on the Syracuse 40. Pass complete, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, all the way down to the 6. Short pass, long run. 1st and goal, Georgia Tech. They're down 3-0 to Syracuse early in that one. I'm watching Go 5 football, LOL. I'll be rooting for Georgia next week. I hate the Gators. Hey, welcome to the club, my man. I'm hoping Georgia Tech goes undefeated heading into the Georgia game. I'm not buying the rumors of Sark having interest in the NFL. The Athletic is one of the most unreliable sports media outlets. Just tuned in, Lou. Why is Georgia Tech cosplaying as Troy? Apparently it's because they won half a natty in 1990, is what I was told. That's why they have a T on their helmet. Ole Miss with the ball now on their own 25, 1st and 10, all tied at 3 on the road in Norman. Trinidad and Tobago in a shotgun here. Snap, play action, looks left, throws left, incomplete, in and out of the receiver's hands. 2nd and 10 now. Quarterback keep. Big hole up the gut that time for Trinidad and Tobago. Picks up about 8 or 9 yards. 3rd and short coming up for Ole Miss now. Hard to believe he can run that fast barefooted, but he's finding a way to do it. That Trinidad and Tobago. Georgia is due for a bad game. Gators win. Pass complete on 3rd down. Good for a 1st down out to the 40. 1st and 10 Ole Miss. Georgia Tech now 1st and goal. 7 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. They trail Syracuse 3-0 early in this one. 1st and goal from the 6. They're going to hand it off. Has a hole. Gets down to the 3. 2nd and goal coming up now for the Nerds from the 3. 1st and 10 Ole Miss on their own 40. Empty backfield this time. Now they bring a running back. Shotgun, snap, handoff. Runs into his own man, bounces off for a gain of about 2. 2nd and 8 coming up now for Ole Miss. Ron DeSantis dresses up as White Tonto before FSU game, says Sir Bucknut. Hey, Uncle Lou, have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? No. No. What's the matter with you? You know how they say you're doing too much or you need to do less? That you need to do a lot less. That's disgusting, bruh. Nico back to throw again. Running for his life. Gets loose. Throws. Caught. 1st down across midfield to the 45. 1st and 10 Bruins. Haynes King throws incomplete over the head of the intended receiver. It's going to be 4th and goal now for the Nerds. Hopefully they kick a field goal because we've got the under in that game. Ole Miss pass complete. Down in the red zone. 1st and 10 Rebels. Well, not quite in the red zone. Around the 35, I guess. 33-yard line for Ole Miss. Shotgun. Free play. Oklahoma, too many men on the field. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty on Oklahoma. Didn't get their guys off the field in time. 2nd and 13 for Nico. In the pocket all day. Now wants to run. Puts his head down. Picks up about 6 or 7 yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 6 coming up now for the Bruins. DeSantis is the greatest governor we've had in 58 years. That's sad. That's sad as shit. Y'all must have had a bad run of governors down there. Yeah, frosted strawberry is good. Are you keeping up with the South Florida game? No. They're tied at 7, though. I've got 3 games on, but that's not one of them. If one of these games gets out of hand, we'll switch it around, maybe put that game on. Did I even make a bet on that game? I think I took South Florida -3 in that game. Yeah, I've got South Florida -3 and over 59 points in that game. So I need a lot of points in that game. Oh, touchdown Ole Miss. First touchdown of the game. UCLA fake punt, reverse. Throws. That was a whole mess of a play UCLA just did there. A fake punt, reverse pass that went absolutely nowhere. Turnover on downs. Indiana will get the ball back. If Ole Miss can score, Oklahoma is done. Yeah, Oklahoma's offense not exactly setting the world on fire this year. Lou for president, that's a great idea, and you're not the first one to bring that up. Unfortunately, I don't have time. I'm way too busy and much too important to run for president. Now, I've explained in the this in the past. I've got plenty of time to be president because you don't really have to do anything. But it takes like 2.5 years of work to run for president. And I'm too busy or important to waste 2.5 years of my life doing that. It is a good idea, though. It is a good idea. Ole Miss winning by 100. Yeah. I hope not. I've got under 52.5 points in that game. Took the over 43.5 in the Oregon game. They're playing Wisconsin. I took the under in that game. I think it's pouring down rain. Yeah, I took under 45 in that game. I've got under 45. What did you say you had? Over 40. I've got under 45. It's supposed to be pouring down rain. Uncle Lou would put out a video, your season is over. Government shutdown edition. They need to get the government back up and running. I don't care whose fault it is. Whoever's fault it is needs to fix it and get the government back up and running. I took a lot of unders because of weather today. Yeah, me too. Me too. I took the under in Oklahoma, Ole Miss, the under in Georgia Tech, Syracuse, the under in Oregon, Wisconsin, and the under in Illinois, Washington. When's the hot tub stream? Gotta wait on the weather to cool off. Then we'll do the hot tub stream. Thank you for all your content. It helps more than you will ever realize. Thank you, Davis. I appreciate you hanging out, man. I have a good time with these streams. Syracuse with the ball tied at 3 with the nerds there. 2nd and 8 pass is incomplete. Gonna bring up 3rd and 8. As a veteran, open the government back up, says David Neal. Yeah, need to get the government up and running. People are working and not getting paid. I don't like that. Whatever your job is, I don't care. If you have a job, you should get paid when you do it. This thing where they got people going to work and not getting paid is ridiculous. All right, Bo man. We'll see you later, buddy. How many sacks will Georgia get on Florida? 0. Same amount they get in every game. Mendoza goes deep. Incomplete down around the 5-yard line. 2nd and 10 coming up for Indiana. They're up 7-0 over UCLA. Toss sweep for Oklahoma. Gets to the edge. Turns the corner. Out of bounds around the 30. Gain of 5. 2nd and 5 coming up now for the Sooners. The politicians always get paid. I'm not talking about the politicians. I'm talking about regular people that work inside the federal government that are having to work and not get paid. It's bullshit. What are we eating today? For lunch, I ate leftovers from last night. I had half a steak and some bacon mac and cheese. I think we're going to do subs this afternoon. Oklahoma on 3rd and 1 goes absolutely nowhere. It's going to be 4th and 1. Decision time here for the Sooners, deep on their own end. What are they going to do here? 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. They're down 10-3. They've yet to stop Ole Miss. And it looks like Oklahoma's going to send out the punt team here. They're on their own 30-yard line or 34-yard line. Boy, Oklahoma's offense is dog shit. Oklahoma set to punt it away here. Punter standing on his own 20-yard line. There's the snap. Gets the kickoff. This one's going to be fielded back at 15. Fair catch called and made. 1st and 10, Ole Miss on their own 15. They're up 10-3 with 4:36 to go in the first quarter. Lou at South Carolina Bama game. TJ Johnson, our center from 2010, invited me to a suite and on field pregame. Decided to come see our ass whipping in person. Hey, that's pretty cool to get to go on the field, though. Lou or chat, do you sell the poverty shirt somewhere? Used to sell it. Not anymore, though. I used to have it on my merchandise store, but not anymore. I switched vendors. And all the old shirts went away. You want me to make a new one? I'll make a new one this week. I'll make a new one this week and I'll have it up on the store by next Saturday. That was a popular shirt. I'll remake that one and put it up on the news store. In the meantime, here's what you should do. All of you should do this, really. A lot of you already have. Limited time only. Never before offered on the LouTube store. Official team asshole hat. Get them while they're hot. Got you the LouTube logo on the back. They're nice hats too. It's stitched. It's not none of that screen print bullshit. They're nice hats. Get them while they're getting is good. They're only going to be up for 2 more weeks, then they're going away. There's the link to the new merchandise store. Woo, does Wake have the best defense in the ACC? Currently humiliating SMU. You know, I don't know if they've got the best defense in the ACC. I don't know. Did I bet the SMU game? Yeah, like an idiot. I took SMU minus 3.5. What's the score? No, I've never had a your season is over shirt. I probably need to make one of those too. Yeah, Larry, I'm not running a welfare operation over here. I apologize, bud. 3-0 Wake. Y'all are. SMU's getting humiliated. And then you tell me it's 3-0. Come in the first quarter. Come on, man. I was expecting it to be like 17-0 already or something. Lou, your Memphis team is hanging in there? Fuck Memphis. I took South Florida minus 3 in that one. Yeah, I'll work on a your season is over shirt this week and a Tennessee poverty shirt. Trinidad and Tobago takes off running, big hit up across the 45 to the 46. 3rd down coming up for Ole Miss. They're up 10-3. Is Indiana about to score again, or did they score again? Fourth down. No touchdown. 4th and goal coming up for Indiana. Indiana's going to keep the offense on the field and go for it here on 4th and goal. Trinidad and Tobago sacked that time. Touchdown, Indiana walks into the end zone untouched. They're going to go up 14-0 at home over UCLA. Does OU have a SCAC? You know, I can't remember. I'm not sure. A lot of people going to be without their lewd stamps next month. Signetti is too damn good. Oklahoma's going to fair catch that punt at their own 17. They'll have the ball there, 1st and 10, down a touchdown. Georgia Tech with the ball, 3rd and 10 on their own 34, all tied at 3 with the fruit. And they are going to pick up a first down up to midfield, 1st and 10, Georgia Tech, 3:43 to go in the first quarter of that one. I hate Clemson almost as much as Clemson hates people playing for them. 1st and 10 for Oklahoma. Money Mateer in a shotgun. They're on their own 17, down 10-3. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. They're going to hand this one off. Has a hole off left tackle. Puts his head down out to the 24-yard line. Gain of about 6 or 7 that time. 2nd down coming up for Oklahoma. Probably got time for one more play here before the end of the first quarter. 27 seconds and the clock is ticking. Why is everyone on the EBT videos 300 pounds? They're ready to steal? Larry, you can't afford a $35 hat, buddy. You might be on the EBT. How much do you weigh? There's single moms that work 2 jobs that have EBT. So it might not be the best thing to joke about. God forbid you ever find yourself in a situation where you need some help. You want me to give you some welfare so you can afford that $35 hat, Larry? Any truth to Sark trying to get into the NFL? I don't know. I saw the same article you saw. Hugh Freeze is getting fired tomorrow. That's the rumor if they lose. Third and 21 coming up for Georgia Tech. That's not a good situation for that offense to be in. Or any offense, really. Tied at 3 with Syracuse. They're on their own 24-yard line. 3rd and 21 for the Nerds. Haynes King in a shotgun. Motion. Snap. Back to throw. Over the middle. Caught. But well short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 10, and the Nerds will have to punt it away. Hugh Freeze and a fired referee should do a celebrity boxing match. Now, I would watch that. I'd live stream it, too. I'd watch that and live stream it. You didn't know the Mafia still existed? Damn. Georgia Tech gets the punt off. Going to go into the end zone for a touchback. Syracuse will get the ball, 1st and 10. UCLA with the ball and can't do shit. 1st and 10 goes absolutely nowhere. The Philadelphia Mob documentary on Netflix is really good. I haven't seen it. Welfare isn't a lifestyle, you fucking idiot. Who are you yelling at? I haven't seen anybody in here say that welfare is a lifestyle. Who are you yelling at? What are you mad about? God dang. Are you punching the air? Pass complete on first down for Syracuse. Short gain of about 4, maybe 5 yards. Second down coming up for the Fruit. All tied at 3 with the Nerds. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first quarter of that one. Indiana up 14-0 over UCLA. UCLA hadn't done anything on offense in this game except throw a pick 6. That's it. That's literally it. Auburn's QB shouldn't be the starter. He's dog shit, ain't he? That Jackson Arnold. 2nd and 5 for Syracuse, just across their own 25. They're going to hand this one off. Hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Fruit. Nico, another incomplete pass while he's busy running for his life. That's going to make it 3rd and 8. UCLA, man, they're in a bad way in this one. They're in a bad way. I don't know about my UCLA scoring over 14 points bet. Just when I thought they turned it around, beating Michigan, Southern Cal loses to Notre Dame. The guy that's mad is the one on welfare. That's usually how it goes. You know, like when you see somebody on Twitter yelling about gay people or whatever, they're usually gay and closeted, or yeah, it's usually people telling on themselves. You know the saying, the call is coming from inside. Uh-oh, there goes Oklahoma, 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown. Another short pass and long run results in a touchdown, about a 70-yarder here for Oklahoma. 76-yard touchdown catch and run by Isaiah Statigna or whatever the fuck. You know how it is with these people's names. Lane Kiffin's defense in a bad way. Lane Kiffin's mind already in Gainesville. To nobody's surprise, UCLA goes 3 and out, punts it back to Indiana. 2:17 to go in the first quarter of that one. Indiana up 14-0. Oklahoma kicks the extra point. We're all tied up in Norman. 10-10 with 14 minutes to go in the second quarter. I haven't had a paycheck in a month. Open to government for sure. Yeah, my ex-wife too. Working for free. What's your prediction for Illinois versus Washington? Woo? Under. I took the under in that game. Lane Kiffin versus Hugh Freeze death fight? I'd take Lane Kiffin in that one. Hugh Freeze is a bitch. I work for the federal government. It's a little scary right now. Yeah. My ex-wife works for the Department of Defense, and she's been 3 weeks without getting paid. My uncle and cousin works for the feds. They're not getting paid. Lou, you should give her a call and see if she needs anything. Well, I paid her all her child support through the end of the year, so. She'll be fine. You haven't had a job a day in your life, bud. Honorable thing to do. Good job. Yep. Uh-oh. Nice run from Ole Miss here. Across the 35 up to the 37 or 38 yard line. First down, Ole Miss. Ole Miss making easy work of this Oklahoma defense so far in the early parts of this game here. Little surprising. A little surprising. 1st and 10. They're on their own 38. Trinidad and Tobago in a shotgun. Snap. Handoff. Not much room that time. Might have gained a yard. 2nd and 9 now. Syracuse and Georgia Tech still tied at 3 apiece. That's the end of the first quarter of that one. Don't tread on us, Lou. I'm not treading on you. Damn, another good play from the Oklahoma defense. Now they're finally starting to play. Going to be 3rd and long now for Ole Miss. 12 and a half minutes to go in the first half. Mike Luca, thank you for the super chat. He says, serious question as a non-SEC guy. Why is the Florida job seen as a step up from Ole Miss, especially in the 12-team playoff era? Money and recruiting. Money and recruiting. Welfare is not a bad thing. We help out our people, but when people abuse it, that's the problem. Yeah, you can substitute. You can take out the word welfare and put gambling, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever. Thank God I don't have to watch Georgia's defensive line fail to get a sack this week. Yeah. Well, they aren't going to get a sack this week. Oklahoma has a defense. Yeah, and it finally showed up here. Finally showed up. Third and 14 here for Ole Miss. Let's see if Oklahoma's defense can force the first punt of the game here. Back to throw, flags. Trinidad and Tobago slips and falls back at the 20-yard line. Loss of about 15 yards. We'll see what the flag is. It's going to be 4th and oblivion for Ole Miss, depending on this flag. What is it? False start, maybe? Oh, no. Offsides on Oklahoma. Wow. So instead of a 15-yard loss, it's going to be a gain of 5. Instead of 4th and 30, it's going to be 3rd and 8 or something. Yeah, he was lined up in the neutral zone. Dumbest penalty in all of football is when a defensive lineman lines up offsides. How can you not see where the ball is, dummy? 3rd and 9 instead of 4th and 30. Let's see if Ole Miss can make them pay for that penalty. 12:20 to go in the second quarter, all tied at 10. 3rd and 9. Trinidad and Tobago in a shotgun. Trips to the bottom. Snap. Handoff. Goes nowhere. Wow. Little surprising there. Give up play by the lane train results in a 4th and about 7 or 8. They're going to have to punt it away here. Billy Napier just got hired at IKEA. What's on the menu today, Lou? I had leftovers for lunch. We went out to Bonefish last night, so I had about half a steak and bacon mac and cheese for lunch. And we're doing subs later. The lady's at work. She's going to bring subs home on her way. Oklahoma's going to take over after that Ole Miss punt. First Ole Miss punt of the game. All tied at 10. Indiana still up 14-0. Syracuse and Georgia Tech tied at 3. North Carolina and Virginia tied at 3. South Florida now up 14-7 over Memphis. Auburn, Arkansas game just started. Yeah, 12:45 kickoff in that one. We're going to turn the Indiana game off here pretty soon. If it gets any more lopsided, then maybe we'll put that one on. Ooh, did you know Georgia Tech has more SEC titles than Texas A&M? Yes, I did know that. So does Tulane. Mateer back to throw on third and, not Mateer, Mendoza back to throw on 3rd and 7. Incomplete, but they're going to get UCLA for pass interference here. That's going to give Indiana an automatic first down. Haynes King on 2nd and 4 picks up a first down to the Syracuse 30. 1st and 10 Nerds. Uncle Lou, we're going to beat the dog shit out of Kentucky. Do you want to fuck? No, I don't want to fuck you, Michael. I'm not into that weird fucking Tennessee butt funneling shit like y'all are. But that's very interesting, though. Indiana inside the 15. 1st and 10 on the UCLA 14 now. The Alabama game fucked the Tennessee man's head up. They've always been that way, honestly. About to order at Bonefish. What do you recommend? Bang Bang Shrimp. Everything else there's just kind of so-so, but the Bang Bang Shrimp is a must. There's no point in going to Bonefish if you're not going to get the Bang Bang Shrimp. 2nd and 2 for Indiana. Mendoza keeps. Tackled inside the 5, but I think he picked up a first down. It was 2nd and 2. And looks like 1st and goal now. Tennessee loses their baseball coach to San Francisco, and Heupel joins the Gators. What? That ain't gonna happen. Oklahoma, look at this, backed up on their own 2-yard line, 1st and 12. Handoff. Safety. Couldn't get out of the end zone. Why in the fuck would you run a stretch play from your own 2-yard line? That's terrible fucking play calling. You got to run something quick hitting up the middle on from your own 2-yard line. They ran a long, delayed stretch handoff and didn't block on top of that. But look, what are you doing on this here? That's a terrible play call. Ole Miss is going to tackle Oklahoma in the end zone for a safety. 2 points for Ole Miss, and they will get the ball. Terrible play call there. 1st and goal, Indiana from the 3.5. Pass is incomplete. 2nd and goal now for Indiana. They're on the 2.5-yard line. Bobby Hill's not going anywhere except to the buffet after the game. James Franklin will take the Texas job after he goes to the NFL. I don't know if a black guy would take the Texas job after the way they did what was it? What was the guy's name that was there? some of the things that they caught the boosters or whatever saying about him. I don't know. I don't know about James Franklin of Texas. The woods is where their sisters are, though. Yeah, Charlie Strong. Third and goal from Indiana. Pass. Complete. Touchdown. Indiana's going to go up 21-0 over UCLA. James Franklin is more of a white man. Somehow I don't think that would matter to those Texas boosters based on the things they said about Charlie Strong. James Franklin is not retired. Not sure why you would say that. Yeah, I'm going to turn the Auburn game on. This Indiana game is dog shit. You can watch maybe Hugh Freeze's last game as head coach of Auburn. Either Auburn will lose and Hugh Freeze gets fired tomorrow, or Arkansas will have 500 yards of offense and lose again like they've been doing. Arkansas, I think, has had 500 yards of offense and lost 3 times this year. That's hard to do. 1st and 15 for Ole Miss, pass out of bounds, had to get rid of it, nowhere to go with the ball. 2nd and 15 coming up for Ole Miss. They're up 12-10 after that safety. Second and 15, Ole Miss. Quarterback draw. Gets loose across midfield. Picks up the first down. Gain of 16. Ducks out of bounds right at the first down marker. Georgia Tech's going to score a touchdown here to take the lead over Syracuse. That was a 4th and 1 pass completion from Georgia Tech for a touchdown. They're going to go up 10-3 now at home against Syracuse. Chambliss jersey looks like he's been in a war. Yeah, this ground is a mess here at the Oklahoma game. It's been raining. Has to throw it incomplete that time. 2nd and 10 coming up now for Ole Miss. Extra point good for Georgia Tech. They're now up 10-3. Giant letdown in their 5-2. I've seen Chambliss just running for his life at times. Need Syracuse to cover. Yeah, Auburn got the Auburn-Arkansas game on. Auburn already up 7-0 over Arkansas, 7:52 to go in the first quarter. I didn't see the touchdown. I literally just turned it on a few minutes ago. They had already scored. Who's the 3 starters out for Georgia Tech today? I have no idea, but every team in the country has starters out. It's week 9. Strong was awful at Texas. He had plenty of time to turn the team around. He didn't. He just sucked. Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with what was said about him. I mean, y'all are Texas fans. I don't know why you're pretending like you don't remember. Butch Jones to Florida. I mean, it would be hilarious, but well, we all know that's not happening. He's more likely to get fired from Arkansas State than he is hired by Florida. Thank you, Mark, for the super chat. No, Billy Napier won't get hired by Georgia. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage from Ole Miss. Guess we need to fire their offensive coordinator. Gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd down now for Ole Miss. Arkansas with the ball 5 wide. Empty backfield. Shotgun on 1st and 10. They're on the Auburn 31. Going deep into the end zone. Over the head of the intended receiver. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up now for the Woo Pig Dummies. Arkansas 6:34 to go in the first quarter. Auburn 7, Arkansas 0. 3rd and 10 now for Ole Miss with 8:25 to go in the first half. They're on the Oklahoma 20. They're up 12-10. Chambliss back to throw. Under pressure. Wants to run. Takes off. Gets to the corner. 1st down. Out of bounds at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, Ole Miss. UCLA has 8 total yards. Damn. Yeah. It has not gone good for UCLA today on the road in Indiana. Syracuse is getting beat today by Georgia Tech. I'm calling it. That takes a lot of balls to call that halfway through the 2nd quarter with Georgia Tech already winning. Why would you want to hire a black coach? If you do, he has to be really good, because if you fire him for any reason, they will always say it is racism. That might be the most ignorant comment we read today. And that's saying something, because there's going to be a lot of dumb shit typed in that comment section. Third and 8 coming up for Arkansas, but they must have called a timeout. Yeah, Arkansas took a timeout. They're looking at a 3rd and 8. 2nd and goal now for Ole Miss on the Oklahoma 5. Wants to throw wide. Oh, my God. Had a man wide open in the back of the end zone and floated it over his head. Incomplete. Wow. 3rd and goal coming up now for Ole Miss. 7:41 to go in the first half. 12-10. Ole Miss with a 2-point lead. I haven't heard anyone say James Franklin was fired because he's black. Yeah, me either, because that's not why he was fired. People just typing dumb shit. Ole Miss throws again over the head of the receiver. Incomplete. It's going to be 4th and goal. Well, another field goal. That's good for the under, I guess. Will Deion Sanders go to Florida? More stupid shit in the comment section. I think what I'm going to do is just every 3 minutes, I'm just going to hit this 5-star dummy. Because there's probably more dumb shit in the comment section that I'm not seeing. So just every 3 minutes, I'm going to hit that 5-star dummy button. But y'all are big retarded today. $25-star dummies, yeah. Dang, Arkansas going the wrong way now. 4th and 14. They're going to have to punt it away. Trying to bury him deep. 9-iron shot down at the 6-yard line. Auburn will take over 1st and 10 on their own 6. They're up 7-0 over the Woo Pig Dummies, Arkansas. Yeah, Lane Kiffin with the quarterback hokey pokey. Switch them in and out. I am retarded. I believe you. I believe you. Ironically, that's the smartest thing you've typed today. 2nd and 25 now for the Fruit. They're on their own 31-yard line. They're down 10-3 on the road at Georgia Tech. Back to throw. Wants to run now. No room. Gets to the 35. That's it. It's going to be 3rd and 20. UCLA is getting humiliated. Yeah, we turned that game off. We were watching it. We turned it off. Will UCLA score at all? I hope so. I hope they score 14 or more. Lane Kiffin is waiting for the LSU job to open up. What? Somehow I don't think that's the case. Mr. Top 25 team is killing UCLA, LOL. Syracuse is going to have to punt it away on 4th down. Fair catch called by Georgia Tech, but then lets it hit, and it's going to be downed at the 1-yard line. I'm getting dumber reading the chat. Chris, buddy, I know how you feel, my man. Imagine how I feel. I do this for hours and hours and hours every week. They called that a touchback? Why? Pass complete out in the flat for Oklahoma. Gain of about 5. They're down 15-10 now after that Ole Miss field goal. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Jackson Arnold threw his first touchdown pass since September. Is that true? Jackson Arnold's dog shit. Absolute dog shit. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Where's that out there? First and 10 for the Nerds. Pass. Complete. No, incomplete. Dropped it as he went to the ground. Big hit at the end, knocked it loose. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 coming up for Georgia Tech. Oklahoma with the ball. 2nd and 7 right near midfield. They're down 5. Moneyline Mateer throws complete across midfield. Hit and tackled right away at the 49. It's going to be 3rd and about 5 coming up now for the Sooners. Cam Coleman is hurt for Auburn. That's not good. He's about the only thing they have that's worth a fuck. What's the chances of the Vols winning out? 0. Third and 4 now for Oklahoma. On the Ole Miss 48. Motion. Snap. Mateer rolls right. Throws. Caught. Stumbles. Short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and 2. Probably going to go for it here just across midfield. Let's see. Yeah, offense stays on the field. Looks like they're trying to go fast. 5 minutes to go in the first half. They're down 15-10. Looking at a 4th and 2 here. So a big play here just across midfield. Auburn with the ball, 2nd and 4 on their own 13. Here comes the 4th down play for Oklahoma. Nope, timeout. Oklahoma takes a timeout. Looks like it's raining in the Auburn-Arkansas game, too. 3rd and 7 for the Barn inside their own 10 now on the 9-yard line. 3rd and 7. They need to get out to the 16. Jackson Arnold in a shotgun. 4 wide here on 3rd and 7. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Back to throw. Gets rid of it. Caught. First down to the 17. 1st and 10 Auburn. Apparently Deuce is leaving for Notre Dame. He deleted all his posts and took Auburn out of his profile. I don't even know who that is. First and 10 Auburn on their own 18. Georgia Tech pass complete. Out near midfield for a first down. Auburn picks up about 8 yards on that first down play. 2nd and 2 coming up now. South Carolina is doo-doo water. Yeah, they've been disappointing this year. They've been disappointing. Second and 1 for the Barn. Jackson Arnold keeps, picks up a first down to the 34. 1st and 10 Auburn. Northwestern might be 6 and 2 today. Yeah, who are they playing? Nebraska, right? Yeah, Nebraska and Northwestern are both 5 and 2. Hey Lou to 75K now. Did we hit it? Let's check and see. We were close. Let's see. We're 8 away. 8 subscribers away from 75,000. We need 8 more subscribers. Subscribe! If you're watching and you're not subscribed, we're 8 away from 75,000. These games are kind of boring, aren't they? We need something to happen here. We need something to happen. What's your take on the NBA gambling scandal? Oh, it's terrible. Terrible. Tech guy named George versus the fruit. What? Fourth and 2. Oklahoma play action pass. Under pressure. Mateer sacked back at the 50. Turnover on downs. What do you think of Jared Curtis taking an official visit to Vandy? Oh, I don't give a shit about that. I don't follow recruiting. That's why. I don't give a shit about any of that. It doesn't matter to me who a player is committed to, who they visit. None of that shit matters. The only thing that matters is where they sign in December. I mean, they commit, uncommit, decommit, recommit, take visits, don't take visits. I don't keep up with none of that shit. Look at Auburn out here trying hard as shit against Arkansas. I'm proud of Auburn. Hopefully Auburn wins and they don't fire Hugh Freeze. That's what would be good for the rest of the SEC, you know. They need to keep Hugh Freeze. Rayola fumbled. I forgot that game was even on. Is it on? That was a noon game? Let's see. North Carolina and Virginia tied at 10. South Florida still up 14-7 over Memphis. Nebraska up 7-6 over Northwestern. Purdue beating Rutgers 10-7. SMU down 10-6 on the road at Wake Forest. Kansas State all over Kansas 21-7. I almost bet Kansas State in that one, but I didn't do it. They're reviewing a Georgia Tech touchdown in that game against Syracuse to see if he scored or not. It was a first and goal play, I guess. They ruled him down at the 1 yard line. It looks like it might be a touchdown, though. They're looking at it now. Does Oklahoma had an offense? Like, did they used to? Yeah. Had is past tense. Yeah, they used to have a really good offense. Remember back in the late 20 teens? They did rule that a touchdown in the Georgia Tech game, so that's going to make it 17-3. Georgia Tech up over Syracuse. 2nd and 6 for Ole Miss. They're going to keep it on the ground. Gain of a couple. 3rd down coming up now for the Rebels. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Ole Miss 15, Oklahoma 10 is the score. Brett Brown, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, if you were Kiffin, Auburn, Florida, or stay at Ole Miss? Well, I'm biased. I want him to stay at Ole Miss. But there's no way he's going to Auburn. You can scratch that off the list. He's either going to stay at Ole Miss or go to Florida. I hope he stays at Ole Miss. I don't want him at Florida. 3rd and 3. Quarterback keep. No gain for Ole Miss. It's going to be 4th and 3 now. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the first half. What's Lane going to dial up here? They're going to go for it here. Offense stays on the field. 3 minutes to go and the clock is ticking in the first half. 15-10, Ole Miss with a 5-point lead. They had a safety earlier. That's how they got to that odd number of 15. 3 wide to the bottom of the screen. They're on the Ole Miss 42. They need to get to the 39. Snap. Throw. Complete. First down. Gain of about 5. Tunnel screen. 1st and 10, Ole Miss. Kiffin looks like a conflicted man today. Well, Florida I mean, Florida offered him what, 13.5 million for 8 years. I mean, that would make him the highest paid coach in the country for about a week. As soon as Lane Kiffin gets that amount of money, somebody else will get a raise and be making more. But at least for a minute or two, that would make him the highest paid coach in the country. Mike Luca, thank you for the super chat. He says Robbie Ashford isn't very good, but he's played obviously very hurt in multiple games this year. I respect the grit. I definitely agree with the first part that Robbie Ashford isn't very good. As far as the injury goes, I don't know too much about that. But you're right that he's not very good, though. Third and 4 for the Barn. They're on the Arkansas 25-yard line. They're up 7-0. Second quarter just underway in that one. Another rainy game there. Timeout Auburn with 13:36 to go in the first half. Indiana looks really good. Yeah. What's the score now? We turned it off. 28-0. God damn. Yeah, we turned it off when it was 21-0. Put a different game on. Makama is back. He won't be here for long. Well, he'll be here all day, but he won't be commenting for long. Biggs might easy on that. Who has OSU played? If Indiana wins the Natty, will Michigan fans burn things down? I doubt it. Someone going to put Makama in timeout pretty soon? Yeah, he never lasts long. Is he in here again? He never lasts long in here. For the commenting. He'll watch the stream the whole day. But he'll end up getting put in timeout and not being able to comment is usually what happens. Syracuse now down 17-3. 4 minutes to go in the first half. They're going to keep it on the ground here on 1st and 10. Bounces it outside. Has room across the 35. Out of bounds at the 37. 1st and 10 Syracuse. Good looking play there. Yeah, see, somebody just put him in timeout already. He never lasts in here with the comments. And he's got like 5 accounts too, so you'll put that one in timeout. He'll log into his other account. He'll be back in here in a minute commenting. Then that one will get timed out, and it just goes like that. Another first down run for Syracuse. Picks up about 3 this time across the 40 to the 42. Second down coming up now for the Fruit. Vermont, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, thank you, Lou. Georgia Tech making the college football playoff. They got a good chance. They got a good chance. Sark's going to the Titans next year. Every good troll has 15 sock accounts. Yeah. Dog shit would be an upgrade for Nico. Boy, Nico does not have many friends in the college football world, I'll tell you that. 2nd and 13 now for Ole Miss on the OU 39. Trinidad and Tobago rolls right, throws, caught, keeps his feet inside the 10, down to the 8. 1st and goal, Ole Miss with under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Great catch. Great catch that time. Syracuse picks up another first down up to midfield on 3rd and 3. 1st and goal, Ole Miss at the 8. Shotgun, snap, handoff. Nowhere to go. Ran into a pile of OU players. Loss of a yard. 2nd and goal now from the 9 for Ole Miss. Is Lane Kiffin an elite coach if he gets to Florida? He's pretty good now. I mean, I don't know what your definition of elite is. I don't really know what that means. I mean, he's a good coach now. Boy, Jackson Arnold. Did y'all see that play from Jackson Arnold? That's why he's a fucking retard. Now, he got lucky that pass wasn't intercepted, but what the fuck are you doing? You're down in the red zone and you do that? Please tell me somebody else is watching this Auburn game. What the fuck, man? 2nd and goal for Ole Miss. Direct snap and a wildcat. Gets down inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal, Ole Miss from the 2. Jackson Arnold is a fucking bum. They're on the 18-yard line. He's getting sacked. He closed his eyes and threw the ball a mile in the air. How it didn't get intercepted, I'll never know. Fall incomplete. 3rd and 11 now. Throws again. Incomplete again. 4th and 11. DeBarn will have to settle for a field goal attempt here. Boy, Jackson Arnold is dog shit. 3rd and goal coming up for Ole Miss. They've had no problem getting down here, but only 1 touchdown so far. We'll see what they do this time. A lot of running backs. 3 of them. Snap. Direct snap. Touchdown. Untouched into the end zone off left tackle. Ole Miss is going to extend their lead. 21-10. The extra point will make it 22. Auburn settles for the field goal, and it is good. Auburn now up 10-0 on the road at the Woo Pig Dummies, or Kansas. What's up, Thad? Lane Kiffin with the damn skinny joggers on. That's an interesting look. If Auburn beats Arkansas, give Hugh Freeze a 10-year, $100 million extension. I'd be on board with that. I don't think Auburn's going to do that, but that, of course, would be fine with me. UCLA on the board? Oh, a field goal. I need touchdowns from UCLA. I'm an idiot. I bet UCLA to score 14 points or more. Maybe Indiana will put all the woozies in the second half and Indiana can get a couple of garbage scores. Who looks more unkempt, Hugh Freeze or Josh Heupel? That's not even close. It's Josh Heupel by a mile. Josh Heupel's the sloppiest fucking coach I've ever seen. Oklahoma with under a minute to go. John Mateer throws incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10 with 38 seconds to go. They're down 22-10 on the road in Norman. UCLA using that mall cop defense. They have the uniforms, but they can't stop anybody. Bill Belichick is pretty sloppy looking, Lou. True, he is. He is pretty sloppy looking. No doubt about it. Freeze need to go to the MAC. Arch's son's not looking great. What's taking forever in the Georgia Tech game? They're reviewing a play. I agree. Jarvis, these games are a little boring here at noon. 3rd and 10. Oklahoma completes a 1-yard pass just for fun. 4th and 1,000,000. They'll have to punt it away with 12 seconds to go in the first half. Charlie Weiss was up there. I think, well, you're just talking about fat people. When I call Josh Heupel sloppy, it's got nothing to do with his weight. Looks like a first down. Yeah, they're looking at it. It's close. I mean, it's one of those deals where there's a whole pile of people there, and you got to figure out where's the ball when his knee touch type of deal. But they're looking at it a long time. Big play, though, of 4th and 1. Sunbelt Billy to Penn State. Yeah, it's not happening. If you was to paint Signetti's face green, he looks like the Grinch. Oh, shit. I still like that we can hear what they're talking about. Yeah, I like the way the ACC does the replays. Here's the ruling. Didn't get it, so it's going to be 4th and 1. 4th and 1. Down 17-3 with under a minute to go in the first half. Oklahoma lined up to punt now with 12 seconds to go in the first half. They get to kick away. Ole Miss ain't got no interest in returning it. And that's going to be halftime. 22-10, your halftime score. Ole Miss up over Oklahoma on the road by 12. Woo! It's going to be, this 4th and 1 is going to be close now. The referee says no, he didn't get it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see another review here. You're probably going to see another review on the spot here. The runner stumbled forward towards the first down marker. It was close. Needed to get to the 42. They're probably going to have to review it again. Yeah, they're going to have to review it again, back-to-back reviews. Is Brent Venables is on the hot seat at Oklahoma? I don't think this loss will put him in trouble, but if he loses 5 games, he could be in trouble. Uh-oh. The Woo Pig Dummies have scored. That's going to make it 10-6. Extra point will make it 10-7. 3-point game in Fayetteville. Long pass play here. Well, short pass, long run. 55 yards or so. First touchdown of the game for Arkansas. 8:36 to go in the first half of that one. Auburn 10, Arkansas 6. Extra point will make it 7. And they are reviewing the spot on that play. But here comes the call. They ruled him short. Turnover on downs. Georgia Tech will get the ball up 17-3 with 45 seconds to go in the second quarter. Memphis touchdown. I think Cam Coleman is still out. Auburn's about to get the ball back, so I'll let you know if he goes in the game or not. Somehow Arkansas has more yards than Auburn in losing. What do you mean somehow? Arkansas has 3 games this year of 500 yards of offense that they lost. That Arkansas has more yards every single week and still loses. You are going to see them play Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship, 100%. I hadn't even looked at the baseball game, so I don't know. I don't know who's pitching or whatever. I don't have a pick on that one. The LSU Oklahoma game at the end of the season might be a loser gets fired game. I don't know. I'm guessing an 8-5 record at OU. How in the world? How in the world are you guessing 8-5? How are you guessing the result of a bowl game when you don't even know what the bowl game is or who they're playing? So I don't understand how people can. I don't understand how y'all do that. Are you guessing that they go 8-4 and lose the bowl game, or are you guessing that they go 7-5 and win the bowl game? Did Indiana score again? Yeah, 35-3. God damn. "20 seconds to go in the first half of this Georgia Tech Syracuse game. 17-3. Georgia Tech's in field goal range. They're on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 8. They've got 1 timeout remaining. Haynes King pass complete. First down and then some inside the 10, 5, all the way down to the 1. Uh-oh, flag down though. It would be 1st and goal at the 1 for Georgia Tech. Well, let's see what the flag is. What's the penalty? I don't know what the penalty is. Here we go. Illegal blindside block on Georgia Tech, so that's going to back them up off the 1-yard line. So bring that back. What's up, Nate? Hey, look at this. Akron is beating Buffalo 3-2. Look at this shit. Akron 3, Buffalo 2. Wake Forest still up over SMU 10-6. Almost halftime there. Nebraska 14-6 over Northwestern. 21-14 South Florida over Memphis. Second and 12 for the Nerds. They're on the Syracuse 30. They've got one timeout and 13 seconds. A draw by Haynes King. First down. Inside the 10, down to the 5 with 4 seconds to go. Let's see what they do here. Do they kick a field goal? They got a timeout. They got a chance for maybe one quick pass play. Will Ohio State lose a game in the regular season? Not unless it's to Michigan. Georgia Tech about to pull a Tennessee. What does that mean? Oh, throw a pick six at the end of the half? I don't think Georgia Tech's as dumb as Tennessee, are they? Tennessee hired a new baseball coach. Yeah, and a tree fell in the woods, too. Here comes the field goal for the Nerds. It's up and good. 20-3 is going to be your score there. All right, got to make a halftime video. Shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes for me to make the video and get it uploaded, and then I'll be back on. I'm not going to shut the stream down, but you guys know the deal. I'll put the picture up and mute the stream. I'll make a halftime video and then be back in about 10 minutes or so. Arkansas has scored 3 straight touchdowns. Is that what I'm seeing? Look at this. Pick 6. Look at this. Just look at it. Fucking Jackson, fucking Arnold. Wasn't Auburn up 10-0 in another game not that long ago that they ended up losing? What game was that? Remember, wasn't that long ago. Auburn was up 10-0 in a game and ended up losing it. Which game was that? Anyway. It's a real shame. Halftime check-in, how's the Pay Lou movement going? Let's check in on the bets, because I don't think they're going too well, to be honest with you. We're going to have to make it up on the noon games, I think. All right, so we have Northwestern +7. And the score is Nebraska 14, Northwestern 6. Halfway through the third quarter, they're down 8. So we're not out of it on that one, but it's not trending in the right direction. We've got UCLA to score more than 14 points. Now, I know what you're thinking, but hopefully Indiana will take all the starters out in the second half, put all the woozies in the game, and maybe UCLA can sneak a couple of touchdowns in there. But that one's not looking good either. South Florida and Memphis over 59 points. The score of that game is 24-14 at halftime. So we are looking good there. They're at 38 points at halftime. So the over is trending. And we have South Florida -3. And they're up 10 at halftime. So that's 2 bets that we're trending to hit. So we're trending to lose 2, trending to hit 2. I've got SMU -3.5. That's not looking good. Syracuse, Georgia Tech under 52.5. That's going to be close. And Ole Miss, Oklahoma under 52.5. That one doesn't look good either. They scored 32 points in the first half. And I've got under 52.5, so I can only afford 3 touchdowns in the second half of the Ole Miss Oklahoma game. So it looks like 1, 2, 1, 2. It looks like we're going to go like maybe 3 and 4 in the noon games, which is not ideal. It's not a huge loss, but it's a loss. So we'll have to try to hit some 3:30 games to make up for it. Oklahoma's got the ball in the red zone, though. 1st and 10 on the Ole Miss 15. Mateer on a quarterback draw. Now he wants to throw. Now he wants to run. Now he throws. Incomplete pass. That was just a very odd, weird, and strange-looking play that results in a waste of a down and a penalty flag. My guess is going to be illegal man downfield, because it looked like Mateer was going to run the ball and then he threw it. You probably had the entire offensive line downfield, is my guess there. Yeah, illegal, ineligible receiver downfield, illegal man downfield. So that's going to back up the Oklahoma man there. Arkansas has scored 3 straight touchdowns to take a 21-10 lead over the Barn. The Barn is in a bad way. The Barn is in a bad way. They keep hiring bad coaches. And on top of that, this time with Hugh Freeze, they hired an absolutely despicable and disgusting human being. So I'm having fun today watching Nico get embarrassed and watching Hugh Freeze get embarrassed, because I just don't like either of them as people. Has nothing to do with football or whatever. I don't like them as people. So it is what it is. It is what it is there on that deal there. Oklahoma had that penalty, and then on the next play, the running back slipped and fell down behind the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 15 now for Oklahoma on the Ole Miss 20. Back to throw. Mateer rolls right. Nowhere to go. Running for his life. Throws incomplete. Out of bounds. Had to throw that one away. 3rd and 15 now for the Sooner man. All right, let's see what's going on here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. That's a big help. That's a big help. Doesn't cost you anything. Takes very little effort or energy. But it does help me out. And on top of that, we are at 74,997 subscribers. 3 away from 75,000. Three. So text 3 of your friends the link to this live stream. Everybody, that's an order. I want everybody, you know how to copy the link to the, you hit the little share button, copy link. Text 3 of your friends this live stream and tell them to subscribe to LouTube. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to subscribe to LouTube.
Subscribe to LouTube.
Yeah, see how he tells you there? Text 3 of your friends the link to this video and tell them to subscribe to LouTube. And that'll put us at 75,000. But I need everybody to do it. That's an order. That's an order. Now I'm going to check this subscriber number. I'm going to check this subscriber number in like 5 minutes. And we should be over 75,000 by then. Because if all of you text 3 of your friends to subscribe, I'm sure at least 3 of them will do it. So I'm going to give y'all a minute or two. And I really hope it works out, because I'd hate to have to shut this shit show down out of pure anger. But I've done it before. And who knows? I may do it again. Uncle Lou is a putz. Says 75 now. Let me see. Sometimes y'all with that trolling shit. There you go. Bang. 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 Now give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. I appreciate y'all, for real. Shout out to everybody that's ever watched an Uncle Lou video, man. I can't believe I'm at 75,000 subscribers. That blows my mind, man. Congrats to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all finding the channel, subscribing to the channel, and everything you do. Even when you troll me, you don't know it maybe, but even when you troll me, all of that's helping the channel. Every comment you leave is a hit on the algorithm. Every time you hit the thumbs up, all of y'all who share the videos out and all that, I really appreciate it. Lou wife is hot. Lou don't have wife. Lou don't have wife. Congrats, my man. Hey, thanks, Hoghead. Thank you, buddy. Very generous of you, Hoghead. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Hoghead. Hoghead is proof that not all Tennessee fans are retarded. Well, he is retarded, but he's retarded in the same way that we're all retarded. He's not like retarded. You know what I mean? He's not Tennessee fan retarded. He's just regular retarded like we all are. Thank you, LV, for the super chat. Says congrats on 75K. I appreciate that, buddy. Kyle, thank you for the super chat. All right. Now let's hope for some good football. Does your better half watch LouTube? Yeah, she watches. Most of the time. She's at work right now, so she might not be watching right now. Oh, there she is. Yeah. There she is. 75,000 degenerates. Hey, listen. Around here, the term degenerate is a term of endearment. And we're all college football degenerates. What, you know, the gambling thing aside, we're all college football degenerates. So salute to all my fellow college football degenerates, and shout out to Team Asshole, undefeated. Next stop, 100K. 100K. Probably a couple of years away from that, but we'll see. Here's some coffee money. Congratulations, Lou. Really. Hey, thanks, Devin. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate all of y'all that have ever watched the video, clicked on a video, thumbs up the video, commented on it, all of that. It all has helped. It's all helped. I really appreciate it. Trevor, thank you, buddy. Thank you, Athens. JD, thanks, buddy. I just heard Signetti was calling the nursing home to put on the line, and they are still scoring on UCLA. Are they? 35-3. Second half is underway. I need Indiana to score 2 like mercy touchdowns. Lou, will you quit making bets if I win my fantasy football league this year? Why would I do that? No. Been following you for a few years now. Luke, you up to good work. Whoa, Todd. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Jeffrey Henderson, thank you, buddy. Congratulations, Lou, 100K in no time. Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. My guess is probably another couple of years, but we'll see. Congrats, sir, on 75K. You deserve it. Thank you, GF. You've been here a long time, GF. I appreciate it. Oklahoma on life support. Yeah, they're in a bad way as it turns out. Now, they are winning the second half 3-0 for now. 3rd and 8 for Ole Miss. We'll see if the Oklahoma defense can step up here in the second half. Well, not on that play they can't. Gain of about 15 and a first down for Ole Miss through the air. 1st and 10 Rebels. They're up 22-13 with 10:15 to go in the third quarter. Although this isn't technically an elimination game, each team only has 1 loss. It feels like an elimination game because of the remaining schedules for these two teams, doesn't it? 10 minutes to go in the third. 1st and 10, Ole Miss on their own 42. Trinidad and Tobago in a shotgun. Of course, he's still barefooted. Hands it off up the gut, gain of about 5. It's going to be 2nd down for Ole Miss. Cade says, well-deserved woo. Thank you, Cade. Craig Yarbrough. Wow, buddy. Thank you, Craig. Man, that's very generous, my man. Thank you. He says, congrats on 75K, Lou. Here's some tip money for the next time you and the family go out and they don't bring you your broccoli. Thank you, buddy. Oh, man. Thanks, Craig. Devin, thank you, buddy. Here's another 20. Brian Kelly, eat shit. Yeah, I didn't think there was a chance Brian Kelly would get fired this season in the preseason. Like heading into the year, I would have said, no, he's not going to get fired this year. But with everything else that's going on around the world of college football and LSU looking like they're probably going to struggle to the finish line with, I mean, they might lose 4 games. From what I've seen across college football, nothing's off limits. So I would not be shocked if they did decide to move on from Brian Kelly. But man, I don't know. Hunter, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, I've been watching since 2017. Congrats, woo. Thank you, Hunter. Yeah, you've been here a long time, man. A long time. 2017 was one of the greatest seasons ever for me. And one of the worst at the same time. That was just a brutal, brutal end of the season for anybody, but especially for a Georgia fan like me, who had been waiting at that point, 37 years on a natty, and to lose it in overtime like that was absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. That 2017 natty game. OU is ass. Well, it's hard to argue with that right now. They're down at home 22-13 to the Lane train. I wonder, Florida fans that are watching this game, or what do y'all think? So, do you think what Ole Miss does this year will go into Lane Kiffin's decision making on the Florida game at all? Like, in other words, if Ole Miss runs the table and goes 11-1, or even 10-2, and makes the playoffs, do you think that makes him more likely to stay at Ole Miss, as opposed to if they go 9-3 or 10-2 and miss the playoffs, he would be more likely to take the Florida job? Or y'all think it doesn't matter? He's going to decide independent of what happens with Ole Miss this year. What do y'all think? I feel like Ole Miss making the playoffs would be bad for Florida. I feel like if Ole Miss gets in the playoffs, it lowers the chances of him taking the Florida job. Cooter Cat, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, congrats, Lou. I've been watching since 2018. Best college football YouTuber out there. Here's to 100K. Thank you, Cooter Cat. I appreciate that, my man. You're another one been here a long time. Devin, you too. He says, congrats on 75K. Thank you, Devin. Good to see all y'all in here again. Johnny Bootlegger, what's up, buddy? 17 natties still hurts even after winning back-to-back natties. Yeah, it does. It's still one of my favorite Georgia seasons of all time, though, because there's something. I mean, in 21 and 22, Georgia was expected to be really good. In 17, it was kind of out of the blue, Georgia had went 8-5 the year before. It was only Kirby's second year. Nobody really knew how good or bad he was going to end up being. And they end up winning the SEC and making the national title game. It was a great year. There's something different about a season like that, and then a season like 2022 especially. So you win the Natty in 21, then you go undefeated in 22. I mean, it was a great season 22, but I don't know. There's something different when it's like an out of the blue type of thing that you don't really see coming, like in 2017. Ole Miss is back in the red zone already, so Oklahoma just unable to do anything defensively to slow down the lane train here in this one, even into the third quarter now. 1st and 10, they're in the red zone on the 15, Ole Miss is. Georgia Tech just scored again, too. It's going to be 27-10 now. Trinidad and Tobago shotgun, back to throw. Quarterback draw, nowhere to go. Oklahoma ate that up. Loss of a couple of yards that time. It's going to be 2nd and long now for Ole Miss. OU game is more SEC refs that need to be fired for purposeful anti-Oklahoma calls. Buddy, the referees don't have anything to do with Oklahoma getting their ass beat by Ole Miss right now. Absolutely nothing. You need to suck it up. Grow a set of stones and just realize that Oklahoma's getting beat by a better team. And that Oklahoma's offense doesn't exist. Back to throw on 2nd and 11 into the end zone. Wow, almost a miracle catch, but falls incomplete. Went up for the one-handed grab, but couldn't come down with it. 3rd and 11 now for Ole Miss. Virginia and North Carolina are still tied. Yeah, that's surprising. Virginia's been pretty good this year, 6-1. They're undefeated in the ACC. They don't have any conference losses. Virginia doesn't. And North Carolina, of course, is fucking terrible. So a little surprising on that one. Back to throw on 3rd and 11. Trinidad and Tobago is going to take off running. Has a hole. 10. Slips and falls short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 3 or 4. What's Lane going to do here? Probably going to go for it. Congrats, found your channel 2 years ago. Time flies. Since Arnold is benched, who's the next dummy that thinks they can fix him? Did they really bench Jackson Arnold? Wow. Hugh Freeze doing everything he can to try to save his job, ain't he? 4th and 3 with 6:13 to go, and Lane Kiffin sends the field goal unit out, which is great. We've got a bet on the under in this game. So the more field goals and less touchdowns are better for our bet. A field goal would make it 25-13, a 12-point game. Now there's a flag down. It looks like a delay of game. Thank you, Edward. Under 52.5. Best college football show on YouTube. Thank you, Dario. Nebraska shooting themselves in the foot again. That's good for me. I've got Northwestern +7. Last time I looked, they were down 8. The field goal is good from Ole Miss. We'll do a score rundown real quick here. Look at this Indiana-UCLA game. Now, UCLA's got the ball in Indiana territory. I need 2 UCLA touchdowns. I've got UCLA to score 14 points or more. So we'll see if I can catch a miracle there. Georgia Tech's up 27-10. Virginia, North Carolina tied. South Florida up on Memphis 24-17. I've got South Florida -3 and over 58 points, I think, in that game. So I need more touchdowns there. Nebraska's now up 8, 21-13, but Northwestern did just score. I need them to score again. Might need to turn that game on instead of this dog shit Auburn game. Or the Georgia Tech game we can turn off. That's what we'll do. Georgia Tech game's a blowout now. See if I can find the Nebraska game. I need Northwestern to cover that. Isn't that game on something weird like TNT or Big Ten Network or something? What game? FS1. That game's on FS1. Let's see. Where's that at? Here it is. Nebraska. All right. Turn that one on. Purdue beating Rutgers. SMU still trails by 4. I've got SMU -2.5, I think, in that game. So I need SMU to come back and win that one. 21-10, Arkansas and Auburn. Look at this Akron-Buffalo score. Still 3-2. Weird fucking score in that game there. 3-2, Akron and Buffalo. All right, there's your score rundowns. Thank all y'all that for hitting the super chats over the last 10 or 15 minutes. I think I got them all. Let me scroll back through them and just make sure. Chris Allen, thank you, buddy. Johnny Bootlegger, thank you, sir. Cooter Cat, Devin Dixon, Hunter, Devin Johnson, Cade Caney, Craig Yarbrough, GF Sports, Jeffrey Henderson, Devin Johnson, Hogman, LV, Kyle. Yeah. All right. Yep. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any. Commercials on all 3 TVs. Did y'all see that Vandy kick the field goal on game day? Yeah. Dude drained it. Nailed it. Said he was a kicker on his high school football team and he played soccer. Knee replacement? I've sort of had that. I'd love to be able to give you some encouragement, but it's fucking brutal, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's brutal. Are you getting a fake knee? Like a mechanical knee put in? Or I got a dead person's knee put in my knee. But they didn't need it anymore. I had my left knee done. No, I'm not on ESPN Bet. Norvell should be fired. Yeah, I agree. Ole Miss set to kick off after a field goal gives them a 12-point lead, 25-13. I see what you did there, Cosmo. Didn't need it. Yeah, you didn't need it anymore. They tried to repair my knee using my own knee parts, and it didn't work. So they had to do it a second time, and when they did it a second time, they gave me a dead person's knee. Had my hip replaced, took me a year to be able to play golf again, says James Gordon. I don't think a knee replacement is as bad as a hip replacement. At least that's what I've heard. I don't have any personal experience with a hip replacement, but from what I've heard, knee replacements aren't quite that bad. But the week or so after my knee replacement is by far the most pain I've ever been in my entire life. It was literally unbearable pain. Any movement at all was just unbearable pain. Yep, Oklahoma just scored. Big rushing 65-yard score on the ground. Wow, that was quick. Well, we're not going to hit the under in that game. We're going to miss that one. Florida already named interim head coach. I can't remember his name. In honor of you hitting 75K, I'm smoking lemon pepper chicken wings on my big green egg. Well, you can't go wrong with that. Oh, you had a hip replacement, was walking the next day? No, not with a knee replacement. I had one of those leg deals that goes from your ankle all the way to your thigh, and it's locked. It's locked, so you can't move your leg at all. And then it seems like about every couple of weeks you have a follow-up appointment, and every time you go in, they move that hinge to like it's a hinge with like 8 or 9 different notches on it, kind of like a belt, how you could make a belt looser or tighter. So when you first have the knee replacement, they have the thing locked, so you can't move your knee at all. And every couple of weeks when you go in for the follow-up, they do it to the next notch, and then a couple of weeks later the next notch, and then a couple of weeks later the next notch, and then once it's all the way down or whatever, then you start your physical therapy. And those people are the devil. Physical therapists are the devil. Yeah, after the car accident, yeah. Join late. What bets do you have today? Screenshot that, because I'm not going to leave it up for long. But you can screenshot that if you want to know the bets for today. Were the physical therapists mean to you? They're not really mean, but they make you do shit that fucking hurts. That's the whole point. They push you to, you got to do more and more and more. And then when you think you can't do any more, they want you to do a little bit more. But that's the only way you get better. I mean, so they're doing their job. It's fucking painful. I had to be in one of those halo devices that screw into your skull and keeps your head up. I've never had one of those on my head, but I had one on my ankle. Same car accident where I tore my left knee up. I shattered my right leg and my right ankle, and I had a halo around my whole ankle with rods going up from one end of the halo right through the middle of my leg, out the other side of my leg to the other end of the halo, like 5 rods all crisscrossed. It was a fucking mess. It was a mess. I still have a couple of holes in my leg. You won't be able to see it on camera, but there's indentions in my leg where the rods were going in one side and out the other. I don't think Brent Key's leaving Georgia Tech. He's a Georgia Tech guy. I don't think he'll leave there. Oklahoma playing some defense now. On 3rd and 8, they force an incompletion. It's going to be 4th and 8. And Oklahoma, after scoring a quick touchdown, is going to get the ball right back with a lot of momentum here in this one. 4:52 to go in the 3rd. So this game is getting exciting in a hurry. Auburn's down in the red zone. Uh-oh. 3rd and goal from the 5. What can the barn do? They didn't take Jackson Arnold out. That's him, ain't it? No gain. Tackled at the 5. Who said they benched Jackson Arnold? Ain't that Jackson Arnold? No, that ain't Jackson Arnold. Or is it? No. Who is that in the game for Auburn? That's not him. Is that that's not that freshman quarterback they got, is it? They benched Arnold. Damn. Imagine being benched in week 9 at 2 different SEC programs in back-to-back years. Dude backed over me with a forklift in a feeding seed down in Vidalia, spring of '94. Damn. Transfer from Stanford, okay. You could interchange Arnold with a piece of lint. Well, dang. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Jackson Arnold has been benched against the team that benched him 3 times last year. Caroline W. It's going good. How y'all doing? What bets do you have left now, Lou? All the bets I had are still left. None of the games have ended. Let's look up Jackson Arnold's stat line to see exactly what it was that got him benched. Here we go. Jackson Arnold's stat line today. Seven of 12, 73 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. 6 carries for 9 yards. Indiana's looking like a championship contender today. They've been looked like that all year. They beat Illinois by 60. They handled Oregon on the road at Oregon. They've been looked like that all year. Yeah, the pick 6, yeah. We need to tweet this about Jackson Arnold. That's an interesting factoid. Auburn QB just benched while playing the team OU benched him last year. Funny to me. It's funny to me. North Carolina going to get the first Power 4 win today. I don't know. Tied up with Virginia. We'll see. We'll see. I work every Saturday. So no, not going to the game. Oh shit. Y'all done got me fucking confused. He was benched while playing them last year. Yeah. Y'all done got me damn confused. So what was it? He was benched against who last year? Was he benched against Auburn? Lou, you about to get laughed at. No, I deleted it. Hey, Lou, congrats on your 75K. Been lurking around here since the Rick days. Awesome to see you making it bigger. Hey, appreciate that, Will. Good to see you in here today, man. Thanks for helping to support the show, buddy. I really appreciate it. Well, wasn't he benched like 3 different times, though? I think he got benched and then became the starter again and then got benched again. Petrino was beating Auburn. He got benched in his first SEC game against Tennessee. But didn't he play again, though, later and then get benched again? Hell, I can't keep up. Ole Miss, Oklahoma likely to come down to the last play. Yeah, Oklahoma got themselves back in the game here. You're a dumbass, Lou. Yeah, but I know how to spell your, though. So there's levels of dumbassery. What's up, AJ? Mateer running for his life on 1st and 10, but he's got room. 1st down inside the 20. Out of bounds at the 12. Oklahoma in the red zone. 1st and 10, down 5 with 2:56 to go in the 3rd. Thank you, 3Pete. Good to see you in here, man. Ole Miss is going to choke per normal. This is where they blew it last week. End of the 3rd quarter, into the 4th quarter. Northwestern, let's go. Northwestern with a long touchdown. Let's go. Come on, man. Could be a pay-lose situation there. 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, 21-20. Nebraska with a 1-point lead over Northwestern. We've got Northwestern +7, so that's good for the pay-lose situation there. Vabdu gonna win today? I have absolutely no idea who's winning that game. And I didn't bet it one way or the other. I think I bet the under. Or no, I did bet it, didn't I? I think I bet Vandy. But I've gone back and forth. Yeah, I bet $25 on Vandy just to bet the game. But I've got no clue how that game's going to go. Ole Miss is playing to keep Kiffin. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. It feels like if Ole Miss makes the playoffs, it would be harder for Lane Kiffin to leave. But I don't. Obviously, none of us know what's in Lane Kiffin's mind. Northwestern with a 2-point conversion to tie the game up at 21 with 11 minutes to go in the 4th. LSU and Mizzou both win today for the heads up. You're welcome. Must-win situation for LSU sitting on 2 losses. So I would expect to see LSU's best effort today. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know if they can come up with enough offense. Oklahoma now with the lead. Big comeback here for Oklahoma in the 3rd quarter. They've scored 3 times in the 3rd quarter. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They're going to go for 2 here. It's 26-25. So going for 2 makes sense. Try to make it a 3-point game. Empty backfield for Mateer and a shotgun. Motion. Snap. Rolls right. Throws. Low and incomplete. So Oklahoma with a 1-point lead over Ole Miss with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go in the 3rd. Freeze is getting fired tomorrow, right? That was the word on the street, but that was the word on the street last week too. So I don't think there's any chance Hugh Freeze will be the coach at Auburn next season. But as far as whether they fire him tomorrow or after the Iron Bowl, I'm convinced they're going to fire him. I think Auburn just blocked a punt, though, by the way, if I saw that right. As soon as you mentioned Auburn, I looked up. And I think they just blocked a punt. They've got the ball now in Arkansas territory. but they're down 8, 21-13. Still plenty of time, though. 8:55 to go in the third. Remember, that game didn't start till 1 o'clock. I think I'm shadow banned. Oh, no. I hope you can figure out how to fix that, bud. That sounds bad, man. Lou, am I muted? Yeah, I can't hear anything you're typing. I can't hear you at all. I think you are muted. I'm not muted, am I? You can hear me talking, can't you? Let me know if I'm muted or not. Have you tried typing in all caps and see if maybe we can hear that a little bit? I mean, you got to try different things. I have no idea if Kiffin's going to take the Florida job or not. No idea. Lou, you have a faster TV. Yeah, I paid extra for a faster version. Auburn just won't give up, will they? Backup quarterback in here making plays. Jesus, Lou, WTF. Auburn back to throw on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go. Now dumps it off short for a gain of about 2 down to the 20. Auburn in the red zone. 2nd and 8. 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're down 8, 21-13. Ole Miss with the ball trailing now. Throws deep. Oh, had a man and overthrew him. They snuck the tight end out on a little post route, and he got behind the defense. But Trinidad and Tobago overthrew him. Damn. Barefooted motherfucker. I'm a 5-star dummy according to my wife. I think every husband is a 5-star dummy according to their wife. The refs have been quite all game. The Ole Miss game, I mean. Fake Mahomes with another interception? Yeah. Yes, you're right. That's great news. We've got Northwestern +7, so we're looking good in that one. Tied at 21 with Nebraska. Under 11 minutes to go in the fourth, and Northwestern gets the ball back after just scoring the tying touchdown. Third and 5 for the barn. Looks like a false start to me. Yep, false start. That's going to make it 3rd and 10 for the barn. They're down 8, but they're in the red zone. 3rd and 10 now. Northwestern on 2nd and 7 picks up about 4. 3rd and 3 coming up. Both teams 5 and 2, Northwestern and Nebraska. Nebraska's been pretty terrible ever since Penn State fired James Franklin. I wonder what that means. Probably means Matt Rule has 1 foot in the door at Penn State already. That would be my guess there. Nebraska, absolute dog shit last week. Didn't even score a touchdown on the road against Minnesota in a 24-6 loss. And now at home, struggling with Northwestern. Looks to me like Matt Rule has checked out of Nebraska and 1 foot in the door at Penn State. First down, Northwestern. Inside the 10. 1st and goal, Northwestern. Thank you, Lou, for hyping up Ole Miss at halftime. Yes, done turned into a game here in the second half. Congrats on 75K. Hey, appreciate it, bud. Oh, yeah, I remember, huh, you like Ben Affleck's a much better name than Huh You Like. Oh, yeah, I remember that in Atlanta. God, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I remember that. If we lose, Hugh Freeze should be fired on the tarmac, says Auburn man. I thought you were going to change your name to Old Dominion fan since 2025. What happened to that? Lou, do you still think the under will hit in the Ole Miss game? No. Sorry for losing everyone's money. Don't bet on me, says Cash Jones. Cash fucking Jones. Cam Coleman got hurt in the first half. I haven't seen him back in the game yet. I watched the games on mute, so I don't know the extent of the injury or what they've said about the injury or whatever, but I haven't seen him back in the game since he got hurt in the first half. Northwestern's going to be looking at a 3rd and 14 here. Auburn, 4th and 13, sends out the field goal kicker. This is going to be a 43-yarder from the right hash. Snap, hold, kick. Barely squeezed it in the upright. It's good. 21-16, a 5-point lead for Arkansas now. Do you think Drinkwitz takes the Florida job? Well, it depends if Lane Kiffin takes it or not. I don't even know if that Drinkwitz is... Well, I know Drinkwitz hasn't been offered the job. Florida might be talking to him. I don't know. But Lane Kiffin's the only one. Well, Freeman was offered a job and turned it down. Their second choice was Kiffin. And Kiffin hasn't said yes or no as far as we know. Sark must hate Arch Manning if he wants to Titans job over the Texas job. My lock of the week never fails. That's why I tell people there's no such thing as a lock. Uh-oh. Big play, Ole Miss. Big play. Inside the 20 down to the 18. 1st and 10, Ole Miss in the red zone. They hit a big one through the air that time. Feels like the first big play through the air for Ole Miss in a while. 4th quarter just underway, coming up on 14 minutes to go. Ole Miss hurries back to the ball, 4 wide to the bottom of the screen. Trinidad and Tobago in a shotgun, and yes, he's barefooted. Motion, snap, handoff, right up the middle. Gain of about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for Ole Miss. Oh, yeah, Ole Miss won't give up, buddy. They just keep fighting to the very end. Texas is about to be down bad if Sark leaves. Wonder who they would try to get to replace him. Well, they could get almost anybody they wanted there. Here comes the 2nd down play for Ole Miss. They're around the 15. They're down a point. Flags down. Why does everyone think Sark is going to the Titans? There's a report out today that Sark told his agent that he's open to NFL jobs. Kirby to Texas. Kirby won't leave Georgia. Any chance Saban takes any of these jobs? I don't think so, no. I think he's done. Belichick going to get a big win today. Was tied at 10. Let's get an update on some of these scores. UCLA still can't score, sitting on 6 points. Probably going to lose that. I've got UCLA to score 14 or more. They're probably not going to score 14 or more. Georgia Tech all over Syracuse. Virginia and North Carolina still tied at 10. North Carolina's got the ball at the Virginia 46, 3rd and 4. South Florida all over Memphis now, 31-17. I've got South Florida -3 and over 52 points in that game, so it looks like we're going to hit both of those bets. Northwestern +7, that bet's probably going to hit, tied at 21. I've got SMU -2.5, and they're up 2. Of course they are. Make me sweat that one. Kansas State all over Kansas. Old Dominion fans since 2025, up on App State 17-7. There you go. There's your score updates. There's your score updates. Texas is a big job. What coaches wouldn't take that job over their current job? Smart, Day, DeBoer, maybe Lanning. Yeah, Texas would get almost their pick of the litter. Dylan Raiola pass complete, close to a first down near the 45. That was a 3rd and 7. Let's see where they spot it. It's close. It is a first down. 1st and 10, Nebraska, tied at 21. I saw Travis Hunter at a high school game last night. His little brother goes to school with my sister. Is it just me, or do I think Lane is just not a big game coach? He does well in all other aspects, but I feel like he just can't win when it matters. Well, people thought he had got over that hump last year when they beat Georgia at home, but lost to Georgia again this year, and now coming down to the wire here on the road at Oklahoma. What's up, Eric? Ole Miss defense not that good. Yeah, that's a pretty safe conclusion to draw there. This might be the most amount of points Oklahoma scored all year, is it? Trinidad Chambliss, 3rd and 8. Picks up the first down inside the 10 to the 5. 1st and goal, Ole Miss with 12.5 to go. They're down 1. Lou, we need you to be the head coach of UNLV. I feel like you could lead them to the promised land. If I was going to head coach any team, that's who it would be. It would be UNLV. Imagine how much trouble I would be in if I lived in Las Vegas and had a job paying me $4 or $5 million a year. I would be in constant trouble. If I was in Vegas and had a yearly salary of $4 or $5 million, I would stay in trouble. Arkansas back in the red zone, but they're going to be tackled for a 4-yard loss back at the 15. It's going to be 2nd and about 15 for Arkansas. They're up 5 against Auburn, and Ole Miss just scored a touchdown. So Ole Miss retakes the lead. You'll be my D coordinator? All right. Shit. Let's get it started. Yeah, LSU's offense is bad. I'm not that worried about Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had their chance last year when we couldn't stop the run. You got to be able to throw to beat Georgia. I don't think Georgia Tech can do that. I'm not worried about the Georgia Tech game. At Mississippi State might be a problem. They can throw the ball. Special teams coordinator? All right, you got it. You got it. I think James Franklin is going to Auburn, says Wild Bill. It's possible. It is possible. 2nd and 7, Nebraska pass into the end zone, incomplete. 3rd and 7 coming up for Nebraska, tied at 21 with Northwestern. Ole Miss scores field goal. No. Ole Miss scores touchdown. You type like a caveman talks. It's like every other word. Outsource recruiting to the Bunny Ranch like Hugh Freeze. Defensive line coach? All right, Dreamscape. We'll sign you up. Lou, will you post a link to the Patreon? Yes, I will. I would love to. Nothing would make me happier. Nothing would make me happier. There you go. That's the link to the Patreon page. We will be live streaming all the 3:30 games over on Patreon. And giving away $250. So if you want $250, click that link, sign up on the Patreon, and come hang out and watch the 3:30 games. We're going to give away $250. Strength and conditioning coach? Yeah, we definitely need one of those. You're going to be the OC? We are running the wing T? No. Nope. I want a modern offense. I need a young, creative, innovative offensive coordinator. No wing T. Thank you, Sean. Good to see you in here. You gonna be, what do you, Kyle? You want to be what, like team nutritionist? Arkansas still up 21-16 over the Barn. 3rd and 8. 1:20 to go in the 3rd. Nebraska in the red zone. 3rd and 5 from the 11. Pass complete. 1st down. Out of bounds at the 4. 1st and goal, Nebraska with 3.5 minutes to go. Do you have to leave a comment to register for the contest like last week? Yeah. But the video to comment on hasn't been posted yet. But it will be posted at the start of the Patreon stream. Equipment manager. All right, let's see what Oklahoma can do here. Down 5, 2nd down. Mateer gets loose in the backfield, but not the second time. Dropped for a loss of a yard. It's going to be 3rd and long coming up for Oklahoma. Touchdown, Nebraska. That's terrible for the Pay-Lou situation. We've got Northwestern +7, so we're going to end up with a push in this game probably. Yeah, we've got Northwestern +7. They're about to be down by 7, so we won't lose, but we won't win. It would be a push. You just get your money back in gambling if it's a tie. Mateer's not the same since he came back. I agree. 3rd and 10. Pass. Deflected. Incomplete. 4th and 10 coming up now for Oklahoma. They're probably going to have to punt it away here with 8:46 to go. Tommy Fry's manager. Is Indiana still running it up? Yeah, 56-6 now. Do they still have the starters in Indiana? The Denny's menu? I think that was Florida State. I disagree that Jackson Arnold would be a good backup anywhere. I don't think he's a good starter or even a second option. Loser Lou. Thank you, Darren. That's very kind of you. Hope you're having a great day, bud. But we all know you're not, or else you wouldn't have showed up and typed that. Yeah, I thought it was Florida State. That was fucking hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. The Florida State fan that dressed up like a Waffle House worker, the headset on like he was an offensive coordinator reading off the menu. That was hilarious. Hey, Chomo Lou. Thank you, Darren. The call is coming from inside the house, Darren. It always is. The call is coming from inside the house. We need Lou Stadium for the Slob Olympics. Georgia just ain't that good. Yeah. Okay. Georgia ain't that good. That's right, Govo loser. You're slipping, Darren. You're starting to get so mad you can't type straight, bud. Uncle Lou and the Losers sounds like a great dollop group. Darren believes frozen bananas are suppositories. Yeah, and he only eats bananas for the shape. Looks like you're a douche. Hey, thanks, Darren, but you spelled your wrong. Oklahoma has to punt it away here. They're down 5, running out of time. Speaking of running out of time, it's 3:10. So I'm going to have to shut this stream down in about 10 minutes and fire it up over on the Patreon page. Ustin Parrott, say to my face, bitch. Darren, were you conceived through anal sex, bud? First and 10 for Ole Miss with 8.5 minutes to go. They're up 5. Feels like a touchdown here could put it away. Let's see if they can get a drive going. They're going to keep it on the ground here. Nowhere to go. Drop for a loss that time. 2nd and 11 coming up now for Ole Miss. Yeah, Darren's mom put on a strap on. Fucked his dad in the ass with it. And Darren was the result. Pass complete for Ole Miss that time. Under 8 minutes to go now. 3rd down for Ole Miss here. Let's see if Oklahoma can get off the field here on defense. They're down 5. Clock ticking, 7:40. Ole Miss is so good at those short passes. 3rd and 5 for Ole Miss. Big play for Oklahoma here. They got to get off the field. Back to throw. Incomplete and nearly intercepted. 4th and 5, and Ole Miss is going to have to punt it back to Oklahoma. Ole Miss punts it away. Oklahoma fields it at the 30, 35, 40. Good return, 45. Fumble recovered by Ole Miss. Wow. Wow. The Oklahoma return man tried to hurdle somebody, got hit on the way down and fumbled, and Ole Miss recovered. Wow. Oklahoma had a chance to get back in the game. They would have had great field position, 2 around midfield, and the returner fumbled the ball, and Ole Miss jumps on it. Huge swing there. Yeah, looks like a fumble. Clearly recovered by Ole Miss. Wow, huge play in that game. Huge play in that game. North Carolina had a chance to get into field goal range to win the game, and they threw a bomb interception instead, so now it's in overtime. Darren is definitely a Voltard. That would be my guess. Auburn's in the red zone. Look at this here. First and goal for Auburn on the 9. They're down 8. Play action, pump fake, running for his life now. Chunks it into the end zone. Incomplete. Dangerous throw. Falls incomplete. 2nd and goal now. Auburn from the 9. They're down 8. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion would tie it up for your buddy Hugh Freeze there. Darren is Go Vols 347. Well, yeah, either that or they're identical twins. Jackson Arnold's not even playing. Jackson Arnold got benched a while ago. Auburn on the ground, 2nd and goal from the 9. They get it down to about the 5. 3rd and goal coming up for Auburn. Lou, I need a 5-star dummy. I missed out on 38K by 1 leg. Well, you're a 5-star dummy for doing a parlay that big. But okay. 5-star dummy. Great channel. I love how knowledgeable you are about the Big 12. I know this is SEC country, but appreciate the coverage on your platform. Hey, thanks, Scott. Yeah, I love the Big 12. I loved it. Did Kansas State hang on and win that game today over Kansas? They were up big last time I checked. I picked Kansas State to win the Big 12, so maybe I'm a 5-star dummy. They haven't had a good year, but I don't know. I still like Dylan Edwards, though. He is fun to watch. The Ducks are wearing tie-dye jerseys. So retarded. Do they want to be a legitimate college football program, or do they want to be a never-ending uniform gimmick? K-State smoked them? Okay. Yeah, they were winning big last time I looked. Northwestern now with the ball down 7, but driving. Ooh, nearly intercepted. That was 3rd and 6. It's going to bring up 4th and 6. Last opportunity here for Northwestern. They're down 28-21. They've got the ball at the Nebraska 35, but they're going to be looking at a 4th and 6 here. Miscommunication on that route there. Wide receiver went one way, ball went the other. 4th and 6. Game on the line here for Northwestern. Down 7 with 1:19 to go. They're on the Nebraska 35. Shotgun. Preston Stone at quarterback for Northwestern. Back to throw. Under pressure. Gets rid of it. Going deep. Going for it all. Overthrew the receiver. Nebraska lucky they didn't get called for pass interference there. Extremely lucky. And that's going to do it. Nebraska's going to hang on to win 28-21, a 7-point win. We had Northwestern +7, so yeah, that's definite pass interference twice there. And yeah, Nebraska extremely, extremely lucky not to get called for pass interference on that 4th down play. So we're going to get a push on that one. No win, no loss. We had Northwestern +7, and they're going to lose by 7. My mama says Oregon is so mad because they got all those uniforms, but no natties. Yeah. Yeah. Oregon with the uniform gimmick. Boise State with the blue field. These teams, these programs, they want to matter so bad they're willing to do anything to try to stand out and get attention. It's kind of sad to see. Well, I hate the... I'm going to have to shut this stream down in a minute. We got to get going on Patreon at 3:30. Ole Miss with the ball in a 5-point lead. 3rd and goal all the way back at the 20. And they're going to lose 3 or 4 yards. So it's going to be 4th and 1,000,000 for Ole Miss. If they make the field goal, it'll be an 8-point game. So Oklahoma will still be alive, but they'll need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion just to tie it. It's a gimmick. It's definitely a gimmick. Auburn ended up kicking a field goal, so they're now down 5 with 12 minutes to go in the game. Ole Miss field goal is good, makes it an 8-point game. 34-26 with 4:09 to go. Nebraska picks up a 1st down, and now they can just take a knee and end the game. Lou, are you taking Mizzou +3? I bet Vandy on Monday. But I have no idea who's going to win that game. I've gone back and forth all week, but I've got Vandy -3 for $25 just so I can bet the game. But I have no idea how that game's going to go. But I do have to get out of here, though, because I got to get the Patreon stream started at 3:30. If you want to join us and hang out for the 3:30 games, come on over to the Patreon page. The link is in the description of the video. I'll also post it in the chat there one more time. We'll have a really good time. We're giving away $250 at halftime of the Patreon stream. So a lot of you are already over there. I'll see you in about 10 minutes over on the Patreon stream.